Hello, Terry here, and today we're going to play Tethered. In case you're wondering what Tethered is, it's a queer rom-com in space. Yeah, that's what the developer called it, so... As you can see, there is rainbow, shining stars, a rope, I guess? Or something like that. And then the Earth, and our spaceship. Enough talk, let's play the game, shall we? So in case you're wondering why the skip button is highlighted, that's because I've done some checking, but I don't read at all. I'm just, checking if the game is heavy or not. Space, the vast, all-encompassing void that stretches out into infinity. I'm getting kind of sick of it. I've had to have seen it 1,000 times out the window of the longest elevator ride in the world. So that's not a rope, or that is. Something to connect an elevator. And yet I always feels like I've forgotten to pick something important. Talking about elevator space, you probably should check out Moon Archer Shooting Star, a visual novel developed by Fornoki. Fornoki expert is an expert at developing a Yuri visual novel. That's what she calls it. Or in English, we L no, how do you say it? WLW. How do you say it in English? WLW? Woman Love Woman Lesbian Visual Novel. I'll just link it on the card above if you want to check my Let's Play. BI, toothbrush, check deodorant, not making that mistake again, extra roll of my preferred brand of toilet paper. Who could forget that? Something is always... You have a preferred brand of toilet paper? Is this a real thing? I don't even know that. Something is always missing. Raw! But there we go. No, screaming is not what was missing. Then what is it? Screaming is definitely not important. There's definitely no one getting murdered right now. There was a tiny girl in front of me in line kicking at the baggage checking machine. Okay, so that's where the scream comes from. What do you mean no animals allowed on board? What animal are you talking about? I don't know, Missy. I think you're trying to smuggle an animal on that baggage. As the sign states, no animals of any breed or state are permitted to board. It's a stuffed cat. Okay, I thought you were trying to smuggle some stuff. Taxidermy is also not permitted, no rations. It's not real. I'm sorry I didn't understand your query. Would you like me to direct you to customer service? Yes. I like to get on board. As the sign states, no animals. This girl is really making a scene. If I don't do something, we could be here all day. Yep, there you go, that's a bear. Excuse me, is there a problem here? Don't you listen? This stupid thing thinks my stupid animal is a real cat. I've been there before. This machine once mistook my travel blanket for a water bottle over 12 hours. But isn't this girl a little too 20-something to be carrying around a stuff? Hey, stop judging people, Stop it. Let people do stuff. Let people bring their doll, their comfort stuff to their workplace or somewhere. Because it makes them comfortable. And I assume there's no possibility you could leave it behind. I'd rather die. Okay. Hey, you understand, Bea. If you're a person like this, you'll understand. I suppose that's fair. Here, let me see the cat. Oh, it's so cute. What are you gonna do with Wolfland Mark Melody? What? You just have to push it through the machine by itself. Trust me on this. Extra bag detected, an extra field will be charged to your account. Thank you for your cooperation. See, there's a logical solution to everything. Yeah, but that solution comes with a cost and this trip is already... Save it, I'll pay it. Oh. You're a god. Thanks. Hey. Thanks. What's your name? Bea? B, that's a really good name. Bea. Bia. How do you read it? Bia. Bia. B. Okay. That's what I said. It's okay, people spell it wrong all the time. Wait, how do you spell that? She looked startled, but she didn't ask any more questions. There she goes. With that out of the way, I could focus on my job, meeting I almost say the word, my bumhole boss up at the space station to do whatever stupid things he asked of me. Seriously, who needs to take their secretary to space? There are things I could do more effectively at the office. Or at home, if he ever went to the office these days. All I need to do now is find my room and wait out the 5 boring days up. There won't be much to do. Except romance, perhaps. I wonder how far I can get through my book A Stable Relationship. It's absolute trash, but I can get enough of it. Monina and Guinevere were just meeting up for their late night rendezvous on the ranch. The 3rd night in a row, they feared someone was following them and... Aha! And why was this girl following me? Okay, hello, can I help you? It's you! Hey, it's look like we are neighbors. Okay. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. You're just judging her to following you, huh? I'm Nova, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, Nova. Well, that will have little bearing on me. I plan to make some real progress reading. The room is small but serviceable to fit a lot of people on this elevator. I guess the rooms have to be compact. Bed with white sheets, a side table and a lamp, a bathroom, a closet, all pretty standard. There's a pamphlet on the nightstand. Your adventure in space begin here. Really? Is there that much to do on the elevator besides looks at space and order room service? Time to go through my routine. Set stuff down, hang up shirts in the closet, check the bathroom. Always check the bathroom. What? And that's about it for me. I don't feel like going out this evening. I'll see how Monina and Guinevere are doing. I must have fallen asleep. The last thing I remember was Guinevere letting Monina touch the neck of her prize-weight stallion. Sometimes I wonder why I read this garbage. Anyways, need a cup of coffee, not because I'm tired. Because... coffee. Ah yeah, coffee. Coffee. Oh, blue. The coffee isn't bad here. I wouldn't say it can redeem the hostesses and waiters in silver, shiny disco outfits with the headbands that have planets bouncing wildly on springs. But there's a trick to it. Fill the cup halfway with coffee, then creamer 2 pumps. Ah, I see. And 1 pump of the mocha flavoring they have on hand. Then half a pump of what? Come on, don't cut it. I want to know. Excuse me, darling. You're gonna be much longer? Break my routine. No. What was that, darling? I'm sorry, I just like my coffee a specific way. Ah, now what do you mean? The perfect coffee ratio is 1 to 5. 1 what? Coffee? 1 coffee to 5 what? 5 squared of that there salted caramel syrup and fill the rest of the cup with whipped cream. What? People gatekeep my drink choice, but I don't think this guy is even drinking it for the coffee at this point. I was wondering why the salted caramel was so low. I'll get out of your way, just let me top off the rest of my cup. No rush, no rush. Just so you go in for the salted caramel, and I wanted to make sure you save some of that sweet syrup for me. For the love of Jupiter, please never say that to anyone ever. Here you go, it's all yours. Thank you, darling. Now come to pop. Okay, so that was absolutely terrible. Yes, what? And I didn't even get to finish making my coffee just right. This will have to do. I mean, what else I was supposed to do? Just not drink coffee? Yeah, right. We could do that. The cafe's not all that big and there isn't always open seating. The thing is, I don't like sharing. So I usually go to my room and just leave the cup outside the door. The thing is, I usually come back for a second or third cup. Even still, I guess the world is better than human interaction. I'll just go to the door. Why don't you just wash the cup by yourself? Like, wash it? Or why don't you just reuse the cup? Yoo-hoo, over here. I wonder who that is. She is probably not talking to me. Please, please, I hope she isn't talking to me. You, young lady in the black and yellow. Vanish, dang it. Ah, I saw you're looking for a table. I thought it was Nova. Oh, actually, I was. I have a chair open, you can come sit with me. No, please, I want to go to my room. I want to be alone. You are very kind, but I was just going to go to my room. Oh, come now, I really don't mind. You need to sit, and I wouldn't mind a company. Okay. Say, isn't romantic up here? Isn't it romantic? Not particularly. It's like an eternal night sky forever, twinkling lights lonely shining through the inky blackness. I hope to one day gaze longingly at my true love, the star reflecting in his piercing eyes. That's very poetic. Why, thank you, I do dabble in the arts from time to time. This woman could write the next stable relationship book, perhaps a spin-off series? Have you ever thought of writing a book? I'm sure the world is lacking in space rom-com style literature, seeing we have entered into the third space air race. Commercializing the moon and all that, you know. Ah, the third space race. Did you know that I forgot. Is it the US Navy? Yeah, US Navy released 3 or 4 footage of UFO and confirmed that they're all true. Interesting, isn't it? And then the US Defense Ministry, what do you call it, have to report on what they know about UFO on this June, I guess, if I remember correctly. May, June. Yeah, June. This June. So I'm kind of interested in that. I'll just wait for it to come out, you know. Oh, but I already have my hands full with my current lesbian horse team romance series. Oh, you read the same book. I'm sorry, you're what? It's called A Stable Relationship. I'm sure you wouldn't have heard of it. It's one of my lesser known works, more of a passion. You are the writer of the book? She's Fable Lexington? Yeah, so I have a meeting in a couple of minutes in my room, so I do have to go. Oh no, it's the writer. Oh well, that's too bad. A young lady like yourself shouldn't be bogged down with work. You are in space. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you can join me for breakfast tomorrow. I can tell you more about my writing. Yeah, I could. I made my non-committal escape back towards the staircase, carefully holding my cup of coffee. Yep, upon going downstairs to my floor, I could hear a heated argument. Unfortunately, because there were only 2 rooms, a floor in the pod, I would no doubt run into conversationalist trying to get to my room. I saw Nova and some person with a distinctly 2010 fashion style. Nova was waving her hands in exclamation. I tried to sneak past them without detection. And there you go. Are you kidding? Scientifically accurate? I enjoyed the movie, but the whole power of love thing did not belong in a hard science fiction space movie. Power of love? That was clearly allegorical. How do you read that? Allegorical. Christoph Dolan is a genius. He clearly knows what he's doing. The ice cloud were impossible, the robot design was impractical, the blood was unrealistic. Why? Why do you care so much about that? That stuff doesn't matter, you're just nitpicking. So you admit it, scientific or historical accuracy is not the most important thing in a movie. There it goes. What just happened? I didn't understand any of that and still wouldn't even if I was purposefully eavesdropping, which I wasn't. Nova seemed to be victoriously when she noticed me, of course. You agree with me, don't you? On what? On what base? On what? On the scientific accuracy of Intergalactic. That's a movie about space, right? Is that the one where the guys grows tubers on Mars with human manure? Nah, that's the other one. I am not very well versed in science fiction. Well, you have to be interested in something. Is she trying to get me to talk about myself? Reading? Oh, what kind of stuff do you read? The questionable one. I think saying that you read adult comic will be much more helpful in this situation, you know, rather than saying that you read some kind of what was that? Stable love. I right now I'm reading this book about the Apollo missions. There's actually a ton of details in there. There are a lot of people don't know about because media doesn't mention it a lot. Yeah, that's a very scientific Educational book. I'm not sure we should reveal it. Is space really all she talks about? I bet from the clothes. You're perfectly at home here, huh? You think so? I think it suits you ever thinks about getting a job working at the station, I mean. Well, I happen to be on this elevator trip for my second phase interview up there. Ah. Oh, that's great. Yep, maybe I'll be able to pay off that engineering college loan. I think it's pretty cool to be passionate about something and actually chase your dreams to work. Well, best of luck to you. Thanks. Since you saved me back when we were boarding, I thought I might try to sometime, like while we are on the elevator. Oh, you don't have to. Maybe dinner. Maybe. Day after tomorrow. Is she asking me on a date? Do I want to go on a date? I mean, she is pretty cute. Sure, I'm free then. What? Great. I wasn't expecting much from this trip. All of my previous experience up till now were uneventful. I almost gotten used to monotony. Couldn't help but think of Babel's outlandish magical idea of a trip to space that changed your life. I then dismissed the idea. Things like that don't happen. Does it? Another day, another coffee. No more narrating, coffee. This time I ended up behind Cowboy, yeah. True to his word, I watched him put a pitiful amount of coffee into his cup, followed by an obscene amount of salted caramel syrup. But hey, salted caramel syrup sure is tasty. The attendant behind the desk looked annoyed at him from a distance. Howdy, never quite caught your name, miss. Bea? Flint Westerson. His name is Flint Westerson? It's nice to meet you, Flint. He tips his hat to me. Likewise, B. Actually, it's never mind. Anyway, did you ever try my coffee suggestion? You know, the golden ratio? I have to admit I did not. Well, to each their own, miss. All carb, the awkward silence dictates I have to keep up the small talk. So, what do you do for work? Nice. For me, I'm the business of the wrangling spreadsheets and crunching numbers. So. What? You're an accountant. Okay. I am an accountant. So what's with the get-up? I figured even a humble old man like me needs some perspective sometimes. What a better perspective can you get than from space? Perspective on what? In fact, I haven't left the loading bay except to eat. You know they have that huge porthole you can look down at Earth. Have you seen it? I saw it before we left Earth when we first got on. I highly recommend you take a look. Now, if you'll excuse me, that window to perspective is called my name. Alright, I will see you around. What now? It's me making arrangement to hang out with the other people. Okay. I grab my coffee, carefully following my own recipe. I can hear someone behind me grumbling and cursing something. Stupid thing. It sounds like the guy from Mr. A. I can hear him smack something solid with the palm of his hand. I can't help but pick at what he's doing. Over by the ordering counter, there's a screen set in the wall. Out of the way is a transmitter. It was described to me on my first time aboard that it was a public phone booth kind of deal. You could make calls back to Earth. As the guy was making the screen now, nothing appeared on it. Come on, please work. Everything okay over there? I promise I called my little sister, but this darn thing wouldn't work. Let me see. I've made plenty of calls on the elevator before. Maybe he wasn't working it quite right. I tried turning it on, fiddling with the buttons, but nothing worked. Maybe it was really broken. She gonna be upset. I watched him keep trying for a minute and slow thug forming. I wonder if someone traveling with us could fix it. My thugs immediately landed on Nova. She said she was an engineer. Engineer fix things, right? Yes. You wanna make a good impression for your interview? Absolutely. Nerd guy needs your help. The transmitter in the cafe is down. Do you think you could fix it? Oh, you mean Jaden? He's kind of annoying. But yeah, I could try. Let me go take a look at it. Jaden, eh? Nova and I returned to the cafe where Jaden had all but given up fiddling with the machine. Nova walked straight up to it. Move, nerd! Ignoring Jaden's offense, Nova started checking the machine. She tried some of the common things I have already tried, like turning it off and on again, but the screen still remained blank. She ran her hands over the machine until she found a hatch she could open. The attendant at the counter looked like she could say something to the tiny girl now defacing property, but then shrugged. Not my problem, shrugged. Okay, I think I might know what the problem is, but I'm gonna need some stuff. Like a bobby pin, a battery, and a coin. That's random and yet oddly specific. What should I go looking for? Oh, bobby pin? I think I have a bobby pin in my room. You still use bobby pins? Many people? Do you have any in your hair right now? Yes, but I don't want my hair to collapse. If you've got, 20-something pins in your hair, I'm sure you wouldn't miss one. There are 43 exactly, and yes, my hair will what? There are? Miss? One? Okay. I went back down the stairs to my room. I checked in my toiletries bag only to find... Oh my god, bag, come on! I know I had forgotten something. I was up forgetting to pack something. I had forgotten spare bobby pins. I'm usually really good at my hairstyle and use the same number of pins every day, so I only ever end up needing more when they break up or get lost. I must have forgotten to restock. I used all the pins that I had taken out the night before to sleep, so I had to hope that one was somewhere on the floor. The most sure place to find a bobby pin was on the floor. Why was a pin? Where would I be? Under the bed? Nope. On the nightstand? Negative. Underneath the lip of the bathroom cabinet beneath the sink? No luck. No, it wouldn't be there. Well, I may as well check. Where? Spare pair of shoes that I left by the door, none in the left shoes, and... Aha! In triumph, I pull a single lone bobby pin out of the right shoe. What? I took it back to the cafe, holding it up right in front of me with pride. Nova eyed me. I couldn't tell if she seemed annoyed or amused. Took you a while. Hey, I found one, didn't I? You could have just taken out one of your hair. Taken one out of your hair. You just want to see me with my hair down. Maybe. What is it to you? Gotcha. What shall I go looking for? We already got a bobby pin, battery? Where do you think I could get battery? I bet Jaden has one for one of his games or something. Alright, I'll ask him. Hey Nova, it's a battery to fix the transmitter. Oh, here, I have a spare. Oh, that's easy. Yep. I guess he just keeps some on him. Thanks. Don't mention it. Well, that was easy. What's next? The coin. Now, who will have a coin? Everyone? Okay. What the? Okay, gotcha machine. Do you have a coin, Jaden? Nah. I spent all my coins on mountain fish. Well, I don't carry cash. I guess I'll ask Fable. Luckily, she came in a few minutes ago for her morning stargazing. Hello, Fable. Good morning, Mr. Lexington. Bea, please call me Fable. Oh, you can spell her name perfectly. You don't happen to have any spare change, do you? How much do you need? Hold on. Nova, which coin do you need? Big one. Just a quarter or the biggest one you have. Alright, but it's going to cost you. Cost me? I have a note I need delivered. Have you met Flynn yet? He tends to wear a handsome vintage Stetson. Okay, fine. The cowboy. The accountant. Yes, bring this note to him, and for dramatic purpose, don't tell him it's from me. Okay. At this point, I have no right to question anything. If he's not getting coffee, he's in the loading bay. Excuse me, Flynn. Oh, B, good to see you again. Have you seen the view from up here? Anyway, I have a message for you. Oh. He takes the note from my hand and reads it. Mumble, mumble, meet at the... Oh, ho, ho, ho. When the clock strikes around this time of year, that is high noon. Why anyone would know if you challenge a man in a Stetson sun to meet a high noon, they are bound to have a duel. Whenever rapscallion dare challenge me, they're in for a rumble. B, stay in your room at high noon tomorrow. There are some things a young lady shouldn't have to see. Okay, gotcha. I returned to the cafe and to Fable. He got the message. Yay, thank you so much. You have no idea of the romance you have started. Yeah, about that. uh, this is going to be an interesting romance indeed. I am not sure what I have started. Here's your quarter, you have earned it. I thank her for the coin and bring it back to Nova. You have everything. Here you go. Alright, just put this here and twist this. It was impressive to watch her work. Her hands looked like they move almost on their own with an admirable level of dexterity. Jaden just kept looking at the screen. In no time, she had the case back on. She hit the button and the screen glowed live. Jaden seems amazed. No, he's not. So it works now, right? I mean, only one way to find out. He started inputting some numbers, the screen reacted and I could hear ringing. After a few moments, the screen revealed a young girl, the spitting image of Jaden. Hey sis, check out where I am right now. Space! Isn't your older brother just the coolest? Jaden, you're only in, like, the thermosphere. You're not gonna be in, like, actual space until tomorrow, and we already learned this stuff in science class, like, last week. Why are you never amazed by all the cool things I do, sis? Jaden sounds like he was going to cry. I did it! Oh my gosh, I did it. I can impress the interviewer now. They will have to hire me. With your enthusiasm and now this, I'm sure they will. You have helped me twice now, so I really need to treat you. Okay, you mentioned dinner. Does tomorrow still work? Hell yeah! Heck yeah. I had to admit, Nova was really cool. She really showed her passion while fixing that transmitter. She was passionate about space, but other than that, I couldn't really tell about anything about her. Her hair is unkempt, her clothes are quirky, and she had a cat stuffed animal in a spaceship-shaped backpack. All of this, and I still had no idea who Nova was. This is what my mind kept coming to again and again as the day left and the night returned. The thugs from yesterday continued to follow me around the day. It was biting into my stable relationship reading time, and I ended up going much longer than I planned to. Okay. When I went down for my morning afternoon coffee, politely trying to remember the name Nova had given her cat, I realized that Flynn was not as his usual paused by the self-serve coffee. He was seated in the booth at the cafe, but there was someone else with him. It was Fable Lexington. And you were so cute when you did it. What, this? Flynn tipped his head to Fable. Fable squealed. Yes, oh, it still makes my heart flutter. Is that how you got all the ladies? It got you, didn't it? Did it work? Fable squealed again. I silently swing out of the cafe and back to my room. Yeah. When dinner rolled around, excitement began to build. Excitement on an elevator ride, imagine that. Today, Nova knocked on my door just as I was finishing repainting my hair. Hi Nova, wow, you are on time. That's nice, I like that. Thank you, it doesn't happen often, so you better like it. Good start. So, to the cafe. To the food. Okay, to the food then. We went to the counter, choosing from a small but tasty selection on the menu. Once it had been heated and ready, we took a seat in the far left booth next to the window that peered into space. When I sat down, I hardly noticed the pitch dark window, but I did notice Nova peeking at it from time to time like a nancy child. I couldn't help but smile. Okay, we started eating our food and then noticed how quiet we were being. This made me realize that if this was a date, that was bad, right? Silence on a date is bad. Not really. Nova looked just as unsure and nervous. She looked like she wanted to say something but was unsure of what to say yet. Take your time. Twice it looked like she would open her mouth to say something, but then she would cover it up while with eating a bite of food, chewing slowly, swallowing, and then repeat. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really think I would get this far. Oh god. She just blurted it out. Huh? I didn't think you would say yes. Why is that? I don't know, I just tried being spectacular and it worked, and now I'm on a date and I don't really know what to do on dates. Let me tell you, this is just the start of things. Nova, so when you say you don't think that it will go this far, oh, make sure this isn't still far enough. There's still a moment that will make you question, like, how did I get here? But let's continue. What? You don't have any space-themed rom-coms to teach you about dating cliché? Surprisingly, haven't come across any. She was quiet again for a long moment. I was just about to try my own hand at small talk when she spoke up again. So, where do you work? I'm just a secretary. My boss is the CEO of a large entertainment enterprise. He's got a line of casinos, a couple of hotels, and some shares in a couple of theme parks. Things like that, tons of that. I'm in charge of keeping track of all his paperwork, meetings, correspondence. So, why are you on the elevator? My boss loves space too. He thinks that will be his biggest money maker yet. He got tons of money in several space programs and is currently making friends with anyone he meets up on the station. Nova was watching me, a curious look on her face. You don't have any interest in space, like, at all? Well, I mean, I never really thought about it all that much. I looked out the window into the darkness. It was strange not seeing any point of horizon to anchor me. I travel up to the station for work, but I still don't really think too much about it. You are in space, surrounded by some of the coolest technological advances of our time. And you don't even notice it? I don't know, why should I? Her voice raised in absolute bafflement. No, I guess space isn't really my thing. It's cool, just not my thing. So what is your thing, besides dressing up like a bee? Hey, I like black and yellow together. So are bugs your thing? This date apparently not going very well, isn't it? No, art? Fashion? No. Horse? Wait, how did you... Come on, you gotta be into something. Huh. Well, huh. I thought for a minute when I got home from my job as a secretary, I shower, eat, and sleep. In order to afford my apartment where I purposefully live alone, I have to work a lot. So I work a lot as a secretary. Anything my boss gives me, I do. Phones, appointments, schedules, meeting, running to get lunch, coffee rounds, and working, social media posts and engagement, new business partner opportunities, convention, and of course, personal assistance, aka Candy. And when I wasn't working, if I had any free time once I got home, I would turn on my movies. I didn't really watch them though. Instead, I surfed on job listing sites looking for odd jobs to do. Nova was still looking at me. This time she almost looked concerned. You really can't think of anything. Nah. I guess working. Working is my thing. Nova face squared up in disappointment. Boring. No wonder you don't have any interest in space or anything. You have to get some time away from work. But do you even like your job? I mean, you could do better. But my apartment. I could get more money, you mean? Huh. No, Duffus, you could be doing something you actually enjoy. You gotta have something fun in your life that isn't work related, or you're going to turn into a sour old lady. And I'm gonna be the girl to do it. Ah. To do what exactly? I'm going to get you to be fun. Be fun? Yeah, I don't want you wasting away your youth on work. In fact, how old are you? 24, but I don't see why. 24? Nova seemed to sway as if shocked into being faint. You're a year younger than me? You're 25. It's not that big of a deal. You're already like in the big name companies. I'm only just now getting to my first real job. This is some serious shit. I need to get you started on the fun stuff ASAP. Okay, first off, we need to break out my movie collection and you need to tell me. Hold on, you've asked a lot about me, don't I get to ask some question too? Nope. What? Nope. I'm very mysterious and sexy, a real mysterious, sexy bad girl type. We wouldn't want to ruin that mystique, right? What? Okay, then what's so funny about that? No, I'm definitely not telling you. Ah, come on, please. I made the most exaggerated big face I could, truly a noteworthy performance. Okay, I'll tell you what. What? If you can defeat me at a trial of my choosing, you may learn my secret is what? Trial? Nova made a wiggly gesture with her fingers. A trial. Nova refused to elaborate, but she paid for dinner and rushed me back to our floor. Trial? What trial? My face was starting to flush because all I know at that moment was a girl who asked me on a date was now ushering me to her room. However, Nova had me wait in the hallway while she slipped past the door. The sliver of the room that I could see before the door closed was a mess. Oh, what was that? I heard shuffling from inside, more as if she were looking for something then tidying up, and then she returned holding a slime ball. Da 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 dun da. You mean a video game? I told you I don't really play it. Which is why it makes a perfect trial to protect my mysticism. Mysticism. Look, I'm running out of words. No more talking, time to play. Nova then sat on the ground just in the middle of the hallway. She looked up at me, cradling the handheld game with one hand and patting the floor, next to her with the other. I realized were this any other place and time, if Nova was anyone else, there's no way I sit on the floor outside a hotel room like middle schooler assigned to different rooms on an overnight field trip. But what the hell? I squat and sat on my ankles, as opposed to Nova crisscross a false house my pencil skirt wouldn't allow it. Even still, I managed to sit close enough to Nova to see the screen. Okay, so how is this going to work? I'll go first, you have to beat my high score. That seems really bad. Like an arcade game, that doesn't seem fair. You're smart, you'll pick it up. I watched over Nova's shoulder. The screen was filled with moving shapes, and Nova expertly navigated her characters through like she was guiding thread into the eye of a needle. Her goofy facial expression belied a practical surgical precision in her movements. Okay, with that score. Really? Yeah. I picked up the game, testing moving the characters around, seeing how it felt in my hands. I took a shot at it. Somehow it clicked into place, and with barely a thug, I guided my character through the fire on pure instinct, beating Nova's score just barely. No way, you cheated! I would never. So, where do I start? So, you're a rocket scientist. While that term is kind of a misnomer, science is more about the theory of how things work, expanding knowledge, whereas aerospace engineers are about applying that knowledge. So, you are an aerospace engineer? That's what I got my degree in. For work, I'm more of a spacecraft mechanic than anything. How did you get into that? I've just always been obsessed with the stuff, you know? I think it really started with my parents taking me to see the rocket launch when I was little. It just amazed me that we could just escape the planet, go to all the little lights in the sky. It is kind of amazing looking at it that way. Right? From then on, I just kinda learned everything I possibly could, watch every movie with spaceships I could find, read every book. I even named myself Nova after the astronomical heaven. You changed your name, that's nice. You name yourself? Well, my dead name doesn't exactly suit me. Oh yeah, I'm trans by the way. Yeah, I already know that. Oh, cool. Anyway, got into college, got my degree, applied for a job, got rejected, applied for like 1,000 more jobs, got no call back, and here I am. You did great at life, Nova. You're chasing your dreams. That's really cool. Cool? Yeah. Seeing her really passionate for getting a job, her optimism in getting one made me start to wonder about the position I was in. Was I happy? Would I be happy if I had my own dreams to follow? Okay, get on with it. Nova looked at me startled. Huh? You promised me make me fun. Nova smiled an impish grin. We start tomorrow, bright and early at 2 o'clock. What are you planning? 2 o'clock in the afternoon? The most fun people sleep in. We hung out for a little longer, just small talk, and I don't think I've ever enjoyed small talk as much as I did with her. Eventually, we had to turn in for bed. I considered inviting her to my room, but I didn't know if that would be overstepping my bounds. I had a really good day, the best I've had in a while. Didn't expect that when I stepped onto this elevator. I went for bed, falling asleep quicker than normal. As it turns out, my early morning routine was so ingrained into me that I couldn't bring myself to stay in bed, let alone sleep later than 9. Plus, I still need coffee. But I waited, reading my book horizontally in an awkward position in bed until around 11, when my need for fuel became undeniable. Okay. When I finally made my way to the cafe, I was the only one there, since it was between breakfast and lunch. Why is it so silent? Instead of returning to my room like a hermit, I decided to stay in the cafe until lunchtime to see who came in. Until then, I made an effort to look out of the window. Maybe I really was too focused on work to look outside of myself. Maybe the vastness of space unsettled me, so I ended up turning inward, but I forced myself to look out the window. Somehow I didn't feel like I saw very much, just inky darkness and stars. And yet, I feel like I was seeing so much, more than I ever had before. Maybe this was the perspective Flynn was talking about. And there they are. There you are, Dalton. We were getting worried about you. I turned away from the window where Flynn and Pebble were standing at my booth. Oh, hi, Flynn. Pebble. Flynn says you normally show up much earlier. Yeah, but I've been trying to change things up. I completely understand. I've been trying to shake things up too. That's the whole reason I come into the elevator, and look what happened. She held up her finger and on it said an engagement ring. What? Was Flynn just carrying that around? That was really freaking fast. Was Pebble carrying it around? Gross. I'm so happy for you both. I'm glad everything is going well. Hate to bother you and then leave you shortly, but I've promised that the little lady here on lunch date. I just want to check up on you. Oh, no problem. Going to be having my own. I suppose it's a date. I'll be having one later too. Fable leaned in really close. Bless my stars, Bea. Did you really find one? Well, I mean, I only just met her. I know it. She leaned back up, standing straight and proud. I told you wonderful things can happen in space. They can happen anywhere. You just had to be open enough to seeing it. And Bea? She dug into her purse that I hadn't realized she'd been carrying beneath her fluffy coat. She pulled out a signed copy of the first book of a stable relationship. I really think you might enjoy it. I know it's not for everyone, but I have a feeling you'll like it. But I already own it. Oh yeah, thanks. I'll give it a try. And there you go. The two whisked each other off to the dinner counter, and I was left to finish my coffee, which was now cold. I almost had to laugh to myself. What a weird, wonderful trip. What the heck's that? I had no idea. She walked up on me, she grabbed the book, and she spread read the back. Oh my god. Oh my god, Bea. Please tell me you read trashy romance novels. I won't lie to you. You do have thing. It's not my thing. It can be one of your things. Fine. Calm down. What the... For someone who doesn't get up before 1, she sure has a lot of energy. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I was too excited to see you. Can she read my mind? No, I can read your mind. Huh. Wait a second. Hold up. What? You just have a really easy face to read? Okay. Anyways, I made an itinerary. See, I can be organized like you. She sat down a spiral notebook covered in space team sticker, flipped open to a page where the itinerary was written. It looked more like a list of her favorite movies. Are we just going to watch movies all day? No. Now I'm making a motion for you to have a time slot discussing your house romance. She was trying to sound like the scribe during a meeting. Motion denied. Motion denial vetoed. Wow, sounding like a secretary's cool. That's not a part of my job at Gone. First order of business, movie time, then we can wander around and see the one thing there is to see on this elevator. We can listen to some music. There's not really much to do on this thing, is there? Nope, but I like talking to you. She's so earnest. I like talking to you too. We had this moment where we just sat there grinding at each other like idiots. It was nice. Nova, embarrassed, was quick to shake the moment off. Alright, I'm gonna grab some food and then I'm holding you hostage with Stuck on Mars. There they go, and she did. She held me hostage all day. We went up to her room and we watched Stuck on Mars Intergalactic in 22,000 in a row. She only had space movies, but it was a start. After watching so many movies, I proposed to do some reading. We sat next to each other, each of us with a copy of A Stable Relationship. I tried to read, but to be honest, I spent most of the time reading off the page Nova was on so could see which part she was up to and what her reaction was. She totally caught me doing it. In return, she demanded I do a dramatic reading of a passage. She didn't want to admit how much she liked it, so I loaned her my copy while keeping the signed one for myself. We ate dinner together, discussing the day media's intake. Afterward, I surprised myself by being the one suggest we stretch our legs and go down the porthole in the floor of the loading bay, the one that looked down to Earth. Ah, I've seen this view before, but it still takes my breath away. She stood hanging over the railing, the blue hue of the Earth softly lighting her face. The view is down there, nerd. I blushed, gazing down at the planet below. Being on the ground really doesn't give you a sense of the curvature nor the scale of our home. But even then, it was just one object in a vast universe. How are you feeling? How am I feeling? I just realized that's America, right? It is weird that I feel more connected to Earth now that I am away from it. It's not weird at all, I totally get that. I crossed my arms over the top of the safety bar and stood my chin on them. I looked down at the Earth. How had I lived there all my life? Now when I stood there for the past several hours, we had been talking, jabbing at movies and books, and learning about each other. Now it was quiet. We existed together. It was so much different from the silence I was previously accustomed to. The silence of avoiding human interactions, the silence of distance, the silence of self-imposed isolation. This was the silence of understanding another person, the silence of not needing to talk to fill the space. Me and her here together. I looked up at her, she was looking at me, and we both smiled. It was the last day of my journey up into space, and I was hit with the alien feeling of disappointment that it was ending. I knew that soon I would step off the elevator onto the station platform, go to work, and say goodbye to Nova. And I was panicking, only a little bit. The thought of waving goodbye to her and never seeing her again put a pit in my stomach. I should ask her for her number. But what if that's overstepping? Did she see this as just a little thing to pass the time, a fleeting connection between people not meant to overstay its welcome? Maybe I should wait for her to ask. But there was no time to think about that, or rather I literally couldn't unless I got some caffeine in my system ASAP. Okay? It almost felt nostalgic walking the stairs to the cafe. I suddenly felt sad over the prospect that not only may I never meet up with Nova again, but I wouldn't see any of the other that chance being on this trip with me. There he was, standing at the coffee bar, Flynn the routine accountant. This time he had brought Fable to the counter with him. He was showing her how to make his signature drink. I was shocked they still had salted caramel syrup in stock. Hi Flynn, Fable, good morning. Bea, it's good to see you. Are you excited to finally be getting into the station? Yeah, I mean I've seen all of it before. You might just see it with new eyes after all that has happened. She winked at me, Flynn chuckled. I know I was the one looking for a perspective when I come to this space, but something tells me I'm not the only one who has found it. Hold on unto that. It's really something special, I can see it in your eyes. I had to resist the blush threatening to form on my face. Truth to be told, I'm going to miss you both. I feel like this is the moment where I should tell you that I have learned something from you that has changed my view on everything, but I can't really explain what that would be if you did. Rebel smiled and leaned toward in that excited way she did. She lowered her voice as if sharing a secret. That's the thing, Bea. We hardly know anything. We hardly know what we have learned in life. We just feel it. We write books with convenient ending to tell people the things they should learn. Life is more complex than that, so are feelings. Sometimes you really just have to go for it. Hey, apparently me and Fable have the same quote. Same motto on life. I wondered for a moment if she could read my mind and was giving me advice about talking to Nova, but I didn't say a word as she pulled away and she didn't elaborate. We are really going to miss you, Bea. You are an exceptional young woman. Flynn tipped his hat to me and honored farewell from him. If I ever should meet you again, I'll always remember ya. And if we never do meet again, I'll never forget. See you, Space Cowboy. After I left, I tried to continue my usual routine, but I kept getting distracted and ended up with way too much caramel and cream in my cup. As I drank what tasted like molten grandma hard candy, I couldn't help but think of Flint's golden ratio. As I was drinking, another person came into the cafe. Ah, Jaden. I hadn't run into Jaden here for breakfast before. He turned around and noticed me. Oh hey, thanks again for helping with the phone booth thing, I appreciate it. No problem, you should really be thanking Nova. Already have gave her my signed DVD copy of Intergalactic. Oh, that's nice. She won it in the marketplace of ideas, I have to respect that. Okay then. Cool. Yes it is. Now this is getting awkward. Anyway, see ya. See ya. And with that, he ran off. There was only one more person to say goodbye to. My heart sank and fluttered at the same time. It was rather a conflicted emotion. I know there wouldn't be much of chance trying to talk to her until she was awake, and she did say that she tended to sleep it until early afternoon. I doubt that. So I waited and watched the void outside, which now I felt myself drawn to rather than distanced from. The more time that passed, the closer to our destination we became, and the more nervous I began to feel. More questions built up in my head, and I tried to constantly push them down. By the time I had gotten to my third cup of coffee and started feeling jittery, I decided I needed to do something other than wait around. Knock on the door. Okay. I returned to my room, packed my stuff, made my bed, checked the drawer, checked the bathroom, always check the bathroom. By the time I was finished, I could recognize that the elevator was starting to make the last several thousand feet to the station. I went to the loading bay to wait, and I noticed everyone else there, so each of them waved to me, everyone except one. I started to wonder if I should go back and pound on her door when she came down the stairs, huffing and puffing as she tucked two huge luggage bags behind her. Did you pack your whole life in there? Only the necessities, toiletries, pajamas, pair of pajamas, a selections of outfits, Michelin stuffed animals, workout equipment, beanbag chair, beans, bags, and Wolf Lundmark Milot. She looked shocked. You remember their name? It's a difficult name to forget. My parents can never get it right. Here, do you want help your bags and your beans? I think I've got the beans in the bag. Stop. Do you want my stupid help or not? Yes, ma'am. I grabbed one of her bags and looking at her when our hands touched. I know it was a cheap move, but I had to get this ball rolling. She had to ask me for my number. Does she? As the elevator pulled into the dock and the doors opened into the bustling station, we began to walk. Come on, you ask it. When's your interview, by the way? Oh, in like 10 minutes. Didn't she schedule that a little close? Do you think you're ready? Oh, I'm absolutely terrified. Then you're doing it right. As we were walking, Nova had been guiding me towards a wall of lockers where people could store their stuff for the day while they traversed the station. I stayed close as Nova unceremoniously shoved her bags into one locker. So, how's the weather up here? Oh my, stars. Shut up, nerd. Okay. So, yeah, so you can go first. No, you. No, you. Oh, screw this. Can I have your phone number? We both looked at each other like idiots, completely nervous idiots, and I realized she must have been just as nervous as I was to ask. I smiled and gave in to a blush. Here, swap phones. I took out my phone, unlocked it, and held it out to her. She did the same. I typed my name into her contacts, wondering if I should write myself as something silly, but I decided to play it straight. When I got my phone back, she had her name as Cute Space Girl. Alright. I won't keep you long, you do have an interview to go to. Sit up straight, make eye contact. Shut up, don't you have a boss to go babysit now or something? Not technically my job, but also technically yes. We paused a moment longer, needing to leave but not wanting to. So much had happened in so little time. Almost couldn't bring myself to say, "Promise me we will see each other on Earth?" Nova smiled. "Wouldn't miss it for the world." Oh. She inched closer to me, wrapping her hands around my neck, her eyes looking in mine with an implied question. Oh. I leaned my head in ever so slightly. She pressed her lip against mine for a blissful instant that was gone as fast as I processed that it was happening. It was so casual, so natural that you wouldn't think it was the first kiss we shared together. She separated herself from me with a wink, waving as she went on her way. There she goes. I would be returning home a completely different person. Watching her walk away, I was sad that it would be a while before I saw her again. I felt uncertainty over when we would meet up, but I knew we would. Something told me she would keep her promise. For the time being, I would return to my boss, my job, but things were different now. Things didn't seem so one-dimensional. Time didn't seem so fleeting. The world seems a lot larger. From now on, a part of me will always be tethered to. Oh, that's the title. Tethered to her. Ah, so that's the end of the game. So that's all for Tethered. A queer romcom visual novel in space. Yeah, it was nice, I could say. Yeah, nice. Okay, I think that's all. See you later then in my next video. Bye bye.